This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
And I'm Heather Branch here asking Brandon for his insight on ways to better prepare for your financial future. BowenWealth.com is where you can begin your own conversation with Brandon about your retirement savings plan. We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there or, again, find us anytime at BowenWealth.com. All right, before we came on the air today, we were talking about the Masters and the U.S. Open is coming. Well, is the U.S. Open coming up? Yep.
Up in Pinehurst. I was just up there, did a little Dormy network. Shout out to those guys. Amazing golf up there. So they're getting geared up for that Open, yes.
Were you saying that it's already starting? You can feel the buzz of the U.S. Open.
Yeah. You can start to see the scaffolding and... I mean, which I love it. It's just
like
so much excitement. That whole town, Pinehurst, it's like it was all built around that resort.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, so fun.
So it is, yes, it is golf season, but we also live in the South. And is it ever a bad time to talk about college football? No. It's never a bad time.
Nope.
It's always a good idea. You walk down the street, you can find anybody who wants to talk about college football. It depends on who you're talking to, though, what team they want to talk about.
Yes, I was totally about to say, depends on who we praising here, you know?
This, I guess, technically is not about college football. This story, you actually sent me this story, and it is very cute. I am very into it. It's very adorable.
Coming from a Clemson fan, this one was kind of hits home here because Nick Saban had our number for a lot of years.
Many people's numbers.
Yes, many people's numbers. But anyway, continue.
So Coach Saban, obviously, record break. Will go down in history. One of the greatest college football coaches of all time. Has, obviously, we all know he retired. And the story where it gets cute and it'll make you laugh is his wife. He fondly refers to her as Miss Terry. Apparently, after he officially retired from the game, Miss Terry wrote him this letter, The 10 Commandments of Retirement, where she listed out the rules that she wants him to abide by. Now, the official list that she wrote has not gone public as of yet, but somewhere somebody got a hold of it or caught wind of the notion, and she herself, ESPN, was asking her about this, and she did reveal a few of the commandments that she has put upon Coach Saban, her husband. So let's talk about these. Because you read through, I was able to find 3 on the internet that she talked about.
Yep. So the first one, it hits home here because it was when they sit down for dinner now.
This is the eating commandment.
He has to wait.
Yep.
Be polite. Wait for her to sit down.
Do not start eating without your wife, sir.
Yes. I mean, it immediately reminds me of my father-in-law. Like he would, like when we would sit down, Jim would be done with his meal. And we're like, what happened? And he's ready to get up.
Okay.
And he would always say it's from, of course, his working years and just needed to get back to
All right,
work.
So Jim and Coach Saban have a little comment here. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's also, we have the couch commandment. And she's insistent. She said, for our whole marriage, whenever I would go grab a blanket, I would offer one to you. And now I want that to come the other way. You need to offer me the same courtesy. You need to offer to bring me a blanket when I'm on the couch.
That's so good.
And then this is the really funny one, the Tech 101 commandment. Talk about this.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. So Tech 101. So he has to actually start sending his own texts.
Hello? The man does not know how to text or send an email, and she is insistent that he learn how to.
Yes. Well, and this is true in my office. I'll have people coming in. They're becoming a client, and we do DocuSign. It's all super convenient and easy. And a lot of times I'll see them. They are fumbling and trying to actually push the screen on their phones, and they're like, Brandon, can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, give me that, give me that,
right.
And I help them.
All right, that's good to know. If you too, sir or ma'am, listening to us on the air, are not tech savvy, at Bowen Wealth, they can help you with the tech stuff. All right. So those are the ones, like I said, we only got, the internet has only gotten hold of 3 of Miss Terry's commandments that she's put upon Coach Saban for his retirement. But I thought it was a great idea. I wanted to ask you then, because listen, she as a wife has her own set of rules, and they also have their own set of money that the majority of us are never going to understand. That Saban family. Yeah. So looking at you now, Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen, and thinking about the folks at Charleston that you work with, what would you say the Brandon Bowen retirement commandments might be?
Okay. So let's say you're retired now. Everything's great. Okay. What are these to live your best retirement life?
Yeah.
Here are some things I would say is to set goals for yourself.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, maybe, what about a 5K? right?
Yeah.
What if you could run the whole 5K?
Yeah.
I mean, things of like everybody wants to try to get in shape a little bit. You got some more time. So so let's try to maybe, let's do that. What about teaching your grandkids your favorite hobby? I mean, I can think back and I'm so appreciative. My grandfather put a golf club in my hand when I was about 6, 7 years old. That's why I love golf these days. Right. So something like that, pass on your hobbies to them.
Okay.
What about trying a new restaurant? Once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe try something different, a new dish.
Okay.
And maybe if you're like, I don't know about that, Brandon, but go to your usual restaurant, maybe order something different, right? Okay. So try different things. Volunteer, serve quarterly, maybe with your church or charity there, right? These are all just things to get your mind, get that focus on others is a great place to be. And then I would say maybe one more might be to plan a trip that's focused around nature. Because, gosh, I tell you, every time I've gone to like up to the mountains, we live here at the beach and a lot of people talk about the ocean and how expansive and it just is amazing to them. Well, we probably take that for granted. So when I go to the mountains, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I can just sit there and look at the eagles soaring and things and just to appreciate all of that. So those are some things that I would recommend for you to do. But my job here is to get you to that point. Right.
Yep.
To get you to where you have the confidence in your financial plan to do those things, to start training for the 5K and the Cooper River Bridge Run and things like that at 10K.
Yeah.
So I want to go back and talk about what my pre-retirement commandments would be. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. So the first one would be thou shalt total up your annual expenses. Okay. You've got to start by putting pen to paper. Okay.
Yep.
Or on your QuickBooks or Quicken or whatever you use, right? We've got to total up. This is where we start. We got to total up your annual expenses.
Okay.
And even separate them by your standard of living, right? That is your dignity. That's what you've got to have, your needs. Okay. And your discretionary is the travel and the fun stuff. That's the wants. Okay. So I want to know 2 numbers. Okay. Combine up to your annual expenses. Okay. So that's our first step there. The second one is to then start adding up your guaranteed income streams. Okay. These are pieces that we have to start building this foundation for your plan that you can have confidence in. And that is looking at Social Security, maybe a pension. If you have a pension at work, those are getting less and less common. An annuity, if you have anything that has the word guaranteed income or protected income, start adding those up. We've got to decide what to do with Social Security, right? So now that's the second thing. We've got that number, but a lot of times it doesn't even come close to what that number 1 was, those expenses, right?
Yeah.
So then there's a gap. There's a gap between what your expenses are and what your protected income totals. Okay. So my third commandment is to design let me call it a bulletproof plan to cover that gap.
Got it.
Okay. Yep. From your expenses to where your protected income, right? We've got to fill in that space there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So designing that plan, that's where I bring so much wisdom and value to the equation. So that brings me up to my fourth commandment, and that is to rebalance your portfolio.
Okay.
A lot of times it might be way too aggressive for this stage. So adjust that market risk to your personal preference. And my fifth step would be then to utilize every tax strategy and loophole legally available to us, right?
Yeah.
Because I want you, and I'm sure you want to keep most of your hard-earned money, as much of your hard-earned money is in your pockets as legally possible.
Of course you do.
Let's learn how to play the game and let's play it to win, right?
Yeah.
So those are my 5 things, right? That I say you've got to do in order to then do the fun stuff in retirement. Okay.
Yep.
And you listening, if you were to take an honest look at your retirement plan, I would bet you would say, hey, it's time for a change. Okay. Just like Coach Saban did. He goes to retire. He had quite the life and no time on his hands in college football. And there's no off season, especially now NIL. It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
So I get it. I get why he retired.
Yeah.
So he's leaving that world now. And it's kind of time to say, okay, let's make some big changes in his life. And for you too, same thing, right? It's time for some big changes. If you're considering retirement, if you're like, around age 60 or above, and you're thinking, it'd be nice. I mean, I've got good health. It'd be nice to actually spend this time with my family, and not give these healthy, great years to my employer. Why do that if you've already won the game, right? If you've already saved enough, then it's time. Let's sit down. Let's call a timeout. Let's do these 5 steps of your expenses, designing that income plan, reducing market risk, managing your taxes. Once you can do all of that, then you can confidently achieve those things. Let me tell you real fast, some clients of mine, we did this planning with them. They go and retire. And one of their biggest goals in retirement was to travel to RV.
Yeah.
And so they went out to the Grand Canyon. They were out there for 3 months. Okay.
Wow.
Just
Nice.
loving it.
Yeah.
Just loving it. And so they came in for a review, and they brought me a rock that was painted by the native Indians there. Some of the people that they met, they were just told me all these stories. And they were like, Brandon, we want to give you this rock as a thank you for the planning that you did that allowed us to have the confidence to do this traveling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I've got it on my desk. I mean, that is just a really, really nice reminder. And so whatever that bucket list item is for you, it's travel or whatever, I want you to do that. And you can do that with a confident plan. So you deserve a complimentary second opinion. Okay. And I call this my full-blown game plan. It's the most comprehensive thing I do. And it helps you design that income plan, reduce your risk, adjust your tax strategies. Okay. That is a retirement game plan, and one that you can take with you into retirement. So you listening, what commandments do you have in hopes for your retirement years? Let's get to work helping you design your own full-blown game plan. We can do this if you head on over to bowenwealth.com and click on the contact tab so we can begin that conversation with you as well.
We also have links posted in the show notes. So if it's more convenient, you can just click there to head to our website, or again, visit us anytime at bowenwealth.com.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC, and again at 1 p.m. on 1250 WTMA.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency, and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.